Welcome everyone to the Vlogan, a vlog for individuals with special needs and those who love them. I am sitting here with one of my favorite people who is part of one of my favorite organizations, Bridgeway Academy. I'm here with Erin Nealy, who is the founder and CEO of Bridgeway Academy. Welcome back, Erin.
Hi, Logan. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. And so this is kind of a special add-on to our longer vlog post that we did maybe a little over a year ago to
Yeah.
talk about a new opportunity that Bridgeway has been lucky enough to receive, and probably was because of a lot of work that you did. But it allows people who want to give to Bridgeway, makes their dollars go further for them. So if you would take it away about the scholarship granting organization.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you again for having me on and letting us talk to you about this today. It is a really exciting opportunity that is a result of a legislative change that happened in 2021 with the tax law that allowed organizations to be part of a scholarship granting organization and specifically education organizations. So we are an accredited school at Bridgeway. And so, in order to be part of the scholarship granting organization, we do have to be a school, private school, and a nonprofit. And so, we are able to have people take advantage of this amazing opportunity for a tax credit to provide funding for scholarship dollars for our students at Bridgeway.
I wondered if we were going to get into the difference between a tax credit and a deduction, which is huge
Yes.
for those folks who don't know.
Yes, and I do want to start off by saying that I am not a tax professional. I am not a CPA. We have done a lot of research over the last year, though, to ensure that Bridgeway can be a part of this organization and allow for additional funding for our students, which is of utmost importance to us. You know, we give out scholarship dollars every year as an academy for students in need who otherwise wouldn't be able to come to Bridgeway. And so we're really hopeful that with this change in the tax law, that this will enable more people to help us make a difference in the lives of kids that otherwise wouldn't be able to access services at Bridgeway. So it does. It allows our friends and constituents of Bridgeway Academy who live in the state of Ohio. That is a very important thing to note, that this is only part of the law in Ohio right now. I've been told that this program exists in other states, but for us and for our SGO, we do need people to be living in the state of Ohio and paying taxes in the state of Ohio. So you're right about the fact, Logan, that this is a tax credit instead of a tax deduction. And that's really important because basically, if an individual contributes to the SGO for Bridgeway Academy, they can have a dollar for dollar tax credit or reimbursement up to $1,500 for a family filing jointly. It's also a $750 cap for an individual. So those gifts that are made through the SGO site, but basically an individual selects Bridgeway from a drop-down menu from the SGO that we're a part of, which is called Every Child, Every Family. And it's part of School Choice Ohio. Families can make their contribution, and it actually goes towards their 2023 taxes, which is also something that's pretty interesting and unique. The deadline to donate to the SGO was extended this year until April 15th, which is great because it aligns with the tax date. So families can designate their dollars from last year's state taxes that they either owe for the Ohio state taxes or that they would be paying, depending on how you have your taxes deducted. And then those dollars go directly towards student scholarships, which is really amazing. This is just a little chart that we created to help people understand sort of what area they will traditionally pay taxes. And so that kind of for every person, because taxes are individualized, they would need to do the research with their accountant or their tax preparer. But basically anyone that makes $44,000 a year or more pays $878 at a minimum to the state taxes for the state of Ohio. And so they would be able to have a dollar for dollar reimbursement if they made a $750 contribution to Bridgeway's SGO. And so that would be something they would directly get back from the state taxes. We also included this little sheet to let people know what form they would need to file this under. And basically, we are told that they submit their proof of payment to the SGO, and they submit that with their taxes, and then they're turned around and reimbursed that with their, if they usually would get any type of a reimbursement or not.
Awesome. So just to make sure that I understand.
Mhm.
So can we go back to that screen of the,
This
so
one?
if a person makes $44,000, $44,250,
Mhm.
they're going to owe the state of Ohio $878.42. And
Correct.
that money goes into the general fund for the state of Ohio. And
Correct.
instead, if they give $750 to Bridgeway Academy, then they're essentially only paying the state of Ohio $128.42 that goes in the general fund, and their $750 goes to Bridgeway.
That's correct. So it's a really great way to use our state taxes. And I will say that some people may not realize that they've paid that already. And so in that situation, they just get a dollar for dollar reimbursement from the state if they make that contribution. So a lot of us have our state taxes deducted out of our paychecks. And so maybe we wouldn't owe at the end of the year because we've already had that deducted over time, but we've still made those contributions already to the state of Ohio, which is why they will then turn around and reimburse you for those dollars.
Got it. So people aren't necessarily writing a check at the end of the year because they've already paid that money
Correct.
through their withholdings.
Correct. And that's why you would get a direct reimbursement from the state for making that contribution to Bridgeway.
Awesome. If a person makes, let's say, $100,000 and they do their taxes and their accountant says, hey, your taxes that you owed for the state of Ohio was $3,000. If they were to then donate $1,500 to Bridgeway Academy, they're actually going to get money back from the state of Ohio because they've really kind of overpaid their taxes then, sort of.
Exactly. They would get a dollar for dollar reimbursement up to $1,500. And that's why this is so exciting. And we're trying to spread the word because it does sound too good to be true. And so a lot of people, unless we sit down and talk with people, they may see, oh yeah, you're asking me for money again. And it's really not the case. This is really a reimbursement. So it takes a little bit of time. I think somebody said it took them 90 seconds to go in on the website and do the contribution, but then you literally can get repaid for that contribution up to $1,500. So we feel like this is an amazing opportunity for everybody to be able to do a little something to make a huge impact for our students.
Yeah, I mean, and so the state of Ohio is really incentivizing and saying these organizations are so special that we're willing to take money out of our pocket so that people can direct this money to this special organization that they want to support. It sounds like a no-brainer, so that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your goal, and then we'll let people get on with their day and let you going back to making sure that kids get educated and doing the wonderful work that you do.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I was just going to mention, as I said, we are really hoping that every little bit will help and we can all come together as a community. When we think about just the number of people that it would take to get to 100,000 or even 150,000, it really isn't a lot when you think about it. So we're just hoping to spread the word. If we live in Ohio, we likely pay state taxes. And so it just is a no-brainer, like you said, to be able to contribute and have those tax dollars go to something good, which is educating kids that otherwise wouldn't have some of these opportunities to come to a specialized school like Bridgeway. And
Oh,
if you
that's
have
great.
questions, we do have our Director of Advancement's phone number and email there, but we also have a friend of Bridgeway, Mike Ferris, who is a CPA, and he does tax prep for a lot of small businesses and a lot of individuals in the city. And he's been a supporter of Bridgeway and actually took a special class on the SGO and has a good understanding. So he offered to have people reach out if they have questions at no charge, just somebody to ask if you're like, this seems skeptical. He's happy to talk through all of the nuts and bolts. Or like I said, we would definitely recommend that you talk to your CPA.
Awesome. And so, and this, I want to remind folks, so this is actually, I can get this credit for 2023, even though I cut the check to Bridgeway Academy in 2024, as long as it's before April 15th.
That's correct. That's correct.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Erin, thanks so much for coming on. We're going to get this out and let people know about this amazing opportunity to support Bridgeway and help themselves.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Logan. We really appreciate it.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Logan. Please like, share, and subscribe to the RRPG channel so you can stay up to date with some of the latest news in the disability community.